I don't know, Marcus, what do you think of this yesterday?
I think it's easy to lose scope because everybody's kind of goes to their partisan corners. I never talked about this with you before,
Right?
Because you usually wait till things come in to see what happens. But I just think everybody should remember that the president's former campaign manager is being charged, along with somebody else that worked with the president, for conspiracy against the United States of America.
Yeah.
This might be the most significant set of charges in the history of our country. It's certainly in the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a bigger charge in U.S. law books than conspiracy against the United States. And he wasn't charged with perjury,
and
right?
where it goes is the question. But the big question is, how close does it go to the president? And that's all that matters, right? I mean, does it actually reach the president of the United States? And so far, the answer to that is no proof.
Well, I look, depending on where you come from in politics, I mean, I think, that's why people rush to defend him, because they think it's a personal indictment of Donald Trump.
He's rushing to defend himself right now. I mean, he's trying to get the message out right now that this is all fake news.
You have to ask yourself a serious question. Does it matter? So right now, there's one guy that pled guilty, two that are indicted, right? Conspiracy against the United States. If he ran a campaign where this was going on but wasn't complicit in it, does that make it somehow more comforting that he's now in charge of the nuclear code?
I'm not sure that it's about being comforting. It's about being, is it legally touching the president of the United States? And for the good of the country, let's all hope that it isn't, because I don't want to see a moment where we go down this road of impeachment, or this would be very horrific for the country, because there's a good part of the country that's going to disagree no matter what is said about this president.
You're so
It'd
right.
be horrible for this country.
That's what I was thinking on the way over here. Like, there's such a big part of me that wish this wasn't happening.
Yeah.
Because
it's
if
horrible
you express
for the
any
country.
concern about it, people think that you're after the president. If you don't express concern, then the other side, thinks you're anti-patriotic. And I think I just wish it wasn't happening and we could fight on the issue.
My take on this whole thing is a little different than yours. I think that the charges on Manafort they're approaching it like you would approach a mob figure. And you get them on the money laundering, you get them on this, you get them on all these things, and then you hope they end up talking, because they're facing the potential. They are facing the potential of doing some pretty serious jail time. However, would the president pardon them? I mean, this is all territory that I'm not sure we've, certainly in modern times, that we've ever seen. But I think they're trying to squeeze them out to get them to talk. That's my take.
Well, there's no question. Because
normally the charges for the stuff that they're being charged with normally they don't end up getting arrested. They're not on house arrest or anything like that for stuff like this.
Well, a lot of his charges come under FARA, which is the Foreign Agents Registration Act.
Right.
He didn't register as a foreign agent.
Yeah, that never.
They don't typically press charges for that, and we know for sure that Michael Flynn didn't register as a foreign agent, and he wasn't charged. So the question is he cooperating? I mean, why would you charge one and not the other? It's strategic in some way. But
this Papadopoulos guy is the one. They think he might have been wearing a wire for the last 9 months.
Oh, I think it's likely he was.
And what comes out of that? I'm really
just what he said, though.
Yeah.
He said that, he sought intelligence from Russia. He set up a meeting, and the campaign knew about it.
The president's saying that they didn't know. The spokesperson, Huckabee, came out yesterday and said the president knew nothing. He had one meeting. After that, he was on his own. You'll have to ask him. This has nothing to do with the president.
No, right.
Do you buy that? You clearly don't buy that.
Well, you don't buy it in conjunction with he said he set up a meeting to get Russian information.
Yeah.
And then we know that Don Trump Jr. set up a meeting to get Russian information. We know that Jared Kushner then asked for a back channel. So there's so much stuff that's saying the same thing. We know Roger Stone knew beforehand. Saying the same thing over, that it's to a point where you're naive to me if you don't think there was something going on.
How is this any different than, I'll just ask this question and then move on. How is this any different than when you would ask a Democrat about Hillary Clinton and Benghazi? They'd be like, give me a break. She didn't do anything wrong. And there's no doubt they sent, what's her name there? I forget her name. I forget her name. It came out on the Sunday programs that morning to say it was all about a video.
Rice?
Susan Rice. And that was done because of political reasons. It was done because they didn't want this terrorist storyline for Obama's election. I mean, it was clearly, yet when you talk to Democrats, they'd be like, come on, give me a break. She did nothing wrong. Now, I'm going to tell you, you have every Republican out there, at least a portion of them, that say the president did nothing wrong here. That Manafort, give me a break. This is all a witch hunt.
Well, they're going to.
So you're going to support your people. You're digging in. You're going to support your side no matter what.
That's true, but the difference here, and I got to say.
You think there's a difference?
Yes, and this is the difference.
I mean, you think there's a difference that's going to stick, is my question.
Yeah, this is the difference. The arbiter of these situations, everybody knows Democrats are going to defend Democrats, Republicans are going to. The arbiter in these situations is the United States Department of Justice. And the difference here is there is a bunch of people saying, we won't accept what the United States Department of Justice says, what our judicial system says, what the FBI says. And you know, I don't know that Democrats ever took it that far. Maybe they did. But if the FBI said, look, Hillary Clinton committed high crimes here, or people associated with her did, I didn't see too many Democrats come out and say, the FBI is lying. They didn't dispute the facts. They just said the facts as we know them, I don't think are that bad.
All right, we'll talk more about it. I got a break.